Yeah, am I audible? Let me see. I think I'm not audible to you. Yeah, is it good now? Yeah, am I audible? Okay. So in
Let me
last
see.
class, what did we
I
learn?
think I'm not audible to you.
We
Yeah.
learned about the concept of
Is it good now?
basic Python, that key, what are the Pythons are there, how can we
Yeah, am I audible?
understand about the addition, subtraction,
Okay.
multiplication,
So
division.
in last
Then after
class,
that,
what
we
did we
had
learn?
learned
I'm
about
not audible to you.
uh, means we had learned about how to write a program, basic thing, how to give a comment, and then we had learned about how to give a basic thing that is coming from we are writing how to write a string, how to compare anything, how to understand the concept of bitwise operator, boolean, and all those things. Now, in today's class, we will move to the other concept that is called as strings. Here, in this string, we will not we will go with the basics. We'll go with the basics. First, let me tell you. So in today's class, we are mostly focusing on data types in Python. So I'm writing the text here. So we will start with, let me write it here, data types. So we'll go with data types. So the first data type that we will discuss, that is called as strings. Hope you all know that, right? So if I'm writing anything like Ashish, Priya, Somesh, uh, Dharashri, like this. If I'm writing any name, that will come as string, okay? Because we are denoting anything with a name. So whenever we are writing anything in the in the form of an alphanumeric value, so then we are denoting that value as strings. Now, how this one is important for our data science career. So if you can see, whenever we are having data, the data whenever we are using column, suppose we are let me show you some picture. Let me write data of say data sheet. I'm just writing it here. If you can, I can show you the image. Let's take a random image, any image that will take of data set. Mm, Okay, let's see. So this is the data that we have. So I can show you the image here. Mhm. Let me zoom this value. Yeah, is it visible to you? Hmm. So in this one, you can observe we are having datas. So if you can see username that has been written as abc@yahoo.com, all these values are written. So whenever you are having such kind of data which is written in the form of alphanumeric or alpha value, alpha beta bit, so we can represent those values as strings. So that's the thing. So whenever you are using strings, we are representing it in the form of this one. Hope you have understood this one. Now let's move on to the standard definition of strings. So what is a standard definition? Let me write it here for you. So let's write it here. If you can see, that is given as, okay. So let's show you. Hmm, give me one second. So let me copy this one and paste it here. Copy this one and I will paste it for you. That is, I will not use this one. Instead of this, let's write string. So if you can see here, it is saying that least strings are the fundamental data type in programming. Okay, play an important role in handling text-based information, which means alpha value. alpha value. Just think about that, about the way you interact with the text in daily life, as I already show you in the sheet. Texting your friends, writing emails, composing social media posts, and everything that you are doing, that has been written in the form of a string. And we have to analyze those string. So that's why we are learning the concept of string. Now, how will you create this string? This is the question that has been created. So first string that you are creating in your life or whenever you are learning Python code, this is the first string that you are writing. So if you are giving a comma like this, then that is coming under the string. Now, if you're not using what is that? Like upper comma, uh, upper comma. No, no. What we are saying is upper comma called. Yes. Upper comma called. It is a long comma history, Oxford comma history. What does this call? Apostrophe. Okay. And what is apostrophe? This one. What about double comma? So if I am writing double quotation mark, acha, double quotation mark that has been created with this one, and we are using apostrophe for that. Okay, got it. No issues. I didn't know this one. So this one is apostrophe. So let's see. So I will assign this one as A. Okay. Now let's see. I will write B1, which is now we will use the double one and I will write the same thing as hello world. Okay, let's see. Let's print first A and then print B. Let's see what is happening here. So if you can see, we are getting, let me, like it's taking time. And let them take time. So before than that, we will solve the question. Okay, got it. So here we are getting the answer as hello world. See, so either you are using the upper double comma, or we can say double quotation mark, or you are using apostrophe, you are getting the same value. So either you can represent the, so this one is, we can give the comment because we had already learned about the comment. So the first one we can say this is a hashtag. We can write it as hashtag. We can use this as string. Let's write a name. We can use apostrophe. I don't know the spelling of apostrophe. So let let me write it anything. Apostrophe as string. Apostrophe as string, and we can also say that we can also say this one as double quotation mark. Not like I have to learn about this double quotation marks. Okay, we can represent it into double quotation mark. Done. So we are using this one. Either you can use this one or you can use that one. You will always get the correct answer. You will always get the answer for these values. There is no issue with that. Okay, got it. Any issue in this? Have you understood this concept? Very good. Very good. You have learned the first thing that is coming under string. Now, let's move on to the next one. So, if you can see, this is the first one. And if I want to write something like machine, there's a statement that we are having that is called as, let me write it here. Then you will understand the thing that what I am saying. If you can see this one, this is also a string. It is having so many words and everything, but can also be written as string. If I will say this one is A, this one is even if I will give the name as phrase, then also it is written as string. Now, if I will execute this code, then after that I want to understand what kind of code is this. So if I will write type, you will get phrase. If I will write it like this, see, it is string. What about A and B? So if I will say this is type A, let's write the same thing as type B. Let's see what is the value that is coming. Let's wait for 2 or 3 times. See, either you are taking A or you are taking B. Those are string. Either you are writing in the first uh, double apostrophe or double quotation mark. You will always get the answer as same, that is string. Clear? Now we can also use double quote. We had already learned this one. Then after that, if suppose like can we say this one as string? So let me take it here. So let's write code here. Okay, let's write code here. So if I'm writing like this, A equals to I am Ashish Pathak. But in between that, there must be a like a single quotation mark, right? So what I am doing, I am writing it like this. But if you can see here, it is also showing some kind of error. Why? Because it is not like totally as a string. For writing a string, you have to use a single quotation mark or a double quotation mark. Let's use a single quotation mark. So here I'm writing this one, and then we are moving forward and then print like keeping it here. Now let's print the value. So here I'm writing printing the value. Okay. See, it is showing that unterminated string literal. So whatever you are writing, that has been not written in the proper form, which means it is not a proper string. What will I do? If you can see here, I can represent the same thing uh, with like this is a correct statement. I am Ashish Pathak is a correct statement. But how we are representing, that has been an issue. Now, let's use the same thing. This is an issue. I will not do anything. I will use the another code. So I will copy this one. I am Ashish Pathak. Let's copy this one. Now, let's print this one. And then after that, I am using double quotation mark. Let's use double quotation mark. Then what will happen? Let's print it as B equals. Now, okay, let's print as intro. Intro is good. Writing A or B is not like good for future programming. So we will give a name for that. So now we will print intro. Let's print this one. See, this one is happening, but before than that, it is not happening. Why? So here, if you can see, if like first we are using single quotation mark, and this one is clearly showing that both the like first quotation mark and is like the values or the alpha values are in between first quotation mark and second quotation mark, which means it has already been created a string. But so it will try to execute those values. But what happened here? Here when we are moving forward, it is going till k, and then also we are using one single quotation mark. So single quotation mark is there and here, which is an issue that has been clearly seen, which means that we have to represent the same value in the form of, we have to represent the same value uh, with some other quotations. If we are using a single quotation inside, then we have to represent a double quotation outside. Okay, so I'm writing it here. This is an important thing. So use if like write me like this. If we are using, let's write it like this. Hashtag if we are using single quote, single quote inside, then we have to use double quote outside. Correct? So this is the thing that we need to do. Simple and easy. But what happened if we are using double quote inside? Then what we will do? So before learning those things, let's learn about one more thing. If we are using a triple quote, then what happens? Let's see. So let's give the name as class. I'm writing it as with one quote and then this one, triple quote. Okay. So let's do this one. So my, okay. So there's an space. Let me remove this one. My class is high. Okay, so I'm writing my class is high. Let's see if you can see here. It is not showing any kind of like it is saying that it is invalid syntax. So let's write it as let's not write class. Let's write it as subject. Let's see what will happen with this. See, class is a like a tool or a term that has been used in the Python. We will not use those things. We will use subject. So let's print this one. So if you can see, we are using print subject. It is showing no error. Why? Because we are having double quotation mark. In between that, we are having a single quotation mark. But if we are using double quotation mark and in between that we are also using double quotation mark, it will show error like this. Let me write a code here. So A equals to, no, not A, play equals to, I will use football again. I will use, let's write football. So if we can play this one, so see, we are getting a error. What's the error? It is not a correct statement. We are using double quotation mark. In double quotation mark, this should not be there. So we need to understand this one. Okay, now if you really want to use the single quotation mark, okay, if we really want to use the single quotation mark, then what will we do? So if you really want to use a single quotation mark or like in single quotation mark, we have to use the single quotation mark. Then we have to do a thing, and that thing is this one. So here we will represent this, and here we will represent this. Now let's play. So if you can see, it is showing no error. So this is the thing that we have to do. So if you can see, we are getting the value that is called as football. Okay, so whenever you are having such kind of error, you need to understand that you can represent it into this form. Done? Got it? Okay, you can also do the same thing in single quotation mark. Like if I want to use like my uh, uh, as like let me write like this. It doesn't seems like that. It doesn't seem like that. If I can write like this is showing error. So we are representing a like single quotation, but this will not work. So what will we do? Here we will just write a slash, and so we will do this one, and we can say this is x. If I will represent it as x, let's print x. So see, we are getting the value here. Done. So this is the string and how we will, and if I can write the type here, what is the type of display? We will see this one is coming as string. If I can say this one, so what is the type of this one? So let's write it as type X. Let's play this one. This is also a string. Understood? Any issue in this? Have you understood the concept? Is it clear to you? This is very basic, but we need to understand those things. That's why I'm showing to you. Hope you have understood this concept. Let's write the next one. Mm, okay. Let me show you this code. Okay. We had done multi-line string that we had already done. Now let's understand the concept of immutability. Immutable means can we change those values or not? So if we are changing, then that is immutable, sorry, mutable. If it is not changing, then that is immutable, which means like let me write it like this. Okay, so let's write a code. Suppose if I'm writing message that is equal to, suppose we are writing something and we made a mistake. So I'm writing like this, hey darling, darling, and we don't know the spelling of darling. So I write hey, darling, where are you? Okay, we had done this one. Then after that, we'll just type the message. If you can see here, this one is correct. Now, what happened here? We had made a mistake. We had made a mistake. What kind of message, mistake that we had made? We had made a mistake in spelling of darling. We need to we need to remove this value, or we need to substitute I here. So for that, we need to see whether this value can be whether if we are putting some values, is it possible to change this one or something like that. So what we will do, if you can see here, in between hello darling, I is missing, which means if we will substitute I somewhere, then we can say that we can uh, like uh, we can say that key we can get the value as we can get the value which is correct. Let's write it as, right now I'm just using darling as eng. Now we have to as you already know the spelling of darling, that is darling, but here it is showing eng, which means we have to replace this e. So the task is, how will you replace this e? So what we will do, we will use a concept in Python which is coming as replace. I will show you replace. So whenever you are replacing anything, we are representing it into this form: message dot replace. So if you are doing some this is a function kind of thing. Okay, this is an inbuilt function that we are having, and we are using those inbuilt function. So we are writing replace. What do we want to replace? So we want to replace darling, and we with what we want to replace darling with darling. Okay, but it is a string, so we'll say it is written in this form. So let's execute this value. So here we are getting darling. Okay, let me write it properly. Hmm. Let's see now what is happening. Here it is showing the same thing. Let's write message now. Now it is not making any kind of value. अब क्या हो गया इसको? Okay, message dot replace. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let me If you can see, I can write it like this. Then let's play. So let's do this one. Again, it is showing the same thing. How it is showing the same thing? Okay, let's print. Let's print and remove this print here. So only execute this value and now print this value. Again, it is showing the same thing. Why it is showing the same thing? That's the question that it has been generated. So what we are doing, we are replacing the value. So how will we replace those things? Mm, okay. This is not the correct one, nah? So we are making the mistake in writing the value. See, now it is showing the correct value. This is hello darling, where are you? So you can replace the value in this form. Okay, only spelling mistakes are there, so that's why we are getting this value. Got it? So this is the thing that we are having. First one. Now let's note. Question is whether string is mutable or immutable. So if you can see, we had changed the value, which means this one is mutable. If it is not, then it is immutable. Now, when you run this code, you will get a now. Uh, let's learn some different type of terms which has been used in Python. If you can see here, if I want to say key, let's write this value only. Let's take message, hello darling. So if I want to understand what is the total number of words that has been used. So if I will say that one that we can represent as message, okay, or we can say length. Length means we are using only len. We are not using gth. We are using only len. So in this len, we will say we will put bracket, and then after that we will put message. Let's see what is the total length here. So if you can see, we are getting 27. Now let's count. So here we are getting one space, two, three, four. Even space is also countable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then 13, then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Wait, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. So total number of words that you can say, that is coming as 27. Even the space is also countable. So that's why we are getting the answer as 27. Got it? So this is the first function that we are getting, which is called as length. So let me write it properly here. Hashtag LENGTH. So we'll get this one. Then after that, first value that we had done. What about the next one? What about the next one? Let's see. What about the next one? So if you can see here, the next concept or the next basic value that we are getting, which is this one, which is count. Okay. So let's count message. Okay, we are counting only messages here. So if you can see, it is not showing any like it is showing error. Why? Because the count value is not defined here. So what we will do, we will take message. Okay, so we'll take message. We will do the counting. So message dot count. Now, what's the word that we have to count? We have to count D here. So I will write D. So what it will do, it will match with everything, and then it will show you what is the exact value here. So if you can see here, message dot count, we are getting 0. Let's see any word which is coming frequently. Here it is coming as A. So I already told you Python is case sensitive. So if I'm writing small a, it will show you the answer for small a. So if you can see, we are getting two values count. So let's see, is it two values? So one value here and A is here. So now one more thing that we can do. Let's see how many e's are there. So if I want to write how many e's, so if I will play this one, we are getting 4 e's. Okay, done. So this is the first and second thing that we are getting. First one is length, second one is count. Okay, now if I am having one statement that is given as this one. Okay, now in this one we have to like there are some questions are also given. First question is given as how many counts are there? So let's execute this value. How many e's are there? First question is how many e's are there? How will you find the e's? So we will do the like what's the string name? The string name is books. In that books, we'll do the counting. What kind of counting that we'll do? We will do the counting of e. So let's see how many e's are there. So if you can see, we are getting 7 e's. Clear? So these all are the things that we need to understand through this concept. Okay, done. Done. Let's see here. Okay, got it. I'm feeling sleepy. Shall I do this class in the next day? Yes. Let's do this session on the next day. Bye everyone. Good night.